I never thought that I would actually have more stress around money when I had more of it. And as I've talked with lots of, wealthy people and things like that, I'm not saying that it's something that everybody faces, but I believe everybody faces this, is as you start to earn a lot of money, more money than you actually need to live the life that you want to live your life vision. When you lose the thing, or when you have a scarcity mindset that you don't want to lose it, oftentimes that's the very thing that will happen, because like I've said before, mindset-wise, what you focus on is what you'll manifest. If you focus on, I don't want to lose my money, then there's a great chance you're probably going to lose your money, okay? If you focus on instead, I want to be secure, or if you focus on instead, I want to go for happiness, or if you focus on instead abundance, you have a mindset of abundance, then you'll start to relieve that stress on your mind that money can place on it when you earn more than that 70, 80 grand a year.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Carrot Cast. Now, the Carrot Cast, we're usually diving in doing interviews with amazing real estate investors, amazing real estate agents. Now, in these episodes, every Thursday, they're the Trevor Truck Talks, where you get to hear behind the scenes of the mindset shifts I'm going through as a CEO of one of the fastest growing companies in America, and the mindset shifts you can take to run your business and win back your freedom as well. Let's dive into this episode.
I remember saying this thing years and years and years ago, and you might be saying the same thing right now. If you are, this podcast is hopefully going to be a big mindset shift for you. So years ago, before I had the good fortune to earn a good income doing what I do as an entrepreneur, I would say the things like, when I make a bunch of money, then I will never have to worry about money again, right? And I would literally say that. And I want you to think back, have you said that? Do you say that right now? When I make X amount of money, I will never have to worry about money again. Well, if you have ever thought about that and you think that that's going to actually reduce your stress, if you think that when you hit this number, it's going to reduce your stress around money, if you think it's going to eliminate it, I want to show you a different perspective on that a bit. So let me give a little bit of context here. And once again, if you're new to the Carrot Cast, this is a Trevor Truck Talk Life Truths episode. And every single Thursday I come at you with thoughts out of my noggin as I'm driving my truck from what I've learned as an entrepreneur over the last 15 years. So you can apply it to your business. A lot of you real estate investors and agents on the other end of the line. So I'm going to say that with some context here. So, man, guys and gals, so appreciate all of the amazing messages that we've been getting since the last episode of the Carrot Cast about my friend Adrian and his passing. Amazing Carrot team member, amazing friend of mine. If you didn't hear the news, he's been here pretty much since the beginning, was my right-hand guy on all of the content and on all the training, and just really being an ambassador for Carrot and for you guys and gals out there to build businesses of freedom and impact. And he passed away last Thursday. And so it's been a really tough week. And I'm driving right now from the Eugene, Oregon airport. I live at about an hour and 20 minutes from this. And this past week, the last 3 days, I've been in San Diego with my leadership team on our 2022 planning retreat. And I'm going to be talking about I'm going to be talking about annual planning here in a future episode of the Carrot Cast to help you get ready for the year ahead. But going back to the original quote that I had mentioned, if you're thinking those thoughts of, man, I want to make a bunch of money, I want to be rich because it's going to eliminate any stress I have about money, it's going to make it so I don't have to think about money, I want to give you this other perspective. So I've talked with lots and lots of rich people, lots and lots of very very wealthy people. I know lots and lots of people who are middle class and they love life, and that's amazing. And I know many people, and see people every day who are not as fortunate financially. And I've been in all of the spectrums, and I have a little bit of context for why things aren't what we think they're going to be when we hit those other income levels. Okay. So when I first had zero money, when I had negative money, 15, 20 years ago, got out of college and went up to Portland after my wife and I got married. And I said, I'm going to give myself a year. I'm going to give myself a year to figure this entrepreneur thing out. And you guys might have heard the story before. I've told it on many of the Carrot Cast episodes. But that first 18 months, I lost a lot of money, basically paid my taxes on my credit cards. And I was just too stubborn to go get a job. And I went in credit card debt, about $16,000 in credit card debt. Like I said, paid my taxes on my credit card that year. And I learned a lot because that first year I wrote this goal sheet. And I do it every single year as well and create goals for the next year. In that year, I wrote down this goal sheet. I put it on my wall in my living room at the apartment that we had up in Portland, Oregon. And I remember it vividly. It said, make $4,000 a month. And that was my big financial goal. Like that was literally my financial goal. And I thought, when I finally make $4,000 a month, my money problems are going to be gone. Right? Money problems are going to be gone. Then I'm going to be able to just relax, not have to think about money and all that goes with having more money. So then a year goes by, I start to learn how to make a little bit of money. I wasn't at $4,000 a month though. 18 months goes by, man, I was close to $4,000 a month. About 2 years go by, I finally hit the $4,000 to $5,000, $46,000 a month range very consistently. And it did give me a relief. It definitely gave me a relief. It definitely took the weight off my shoulders a little bit. It made it so I could pay off that credit card debt. It made it so I could pay my rent payment. Made it so I could buy gas. Made it so I could buy the food. My wife and I could go out to dinner maybe once in a while, every now and then, right? And it was awesome. Like that level was amazing because I was able to then get out from under the weight of having no money. And I'm sure so many of you guys and gals might be under that spot right now where you're making less than $4,000 or $5,000 a month, or maybe you've got less than $5,000 a month in your bank account and you're making less than $4,000 or $5,000 and you're trying to make a rent payment and you're trying to make a car payment or whatever it is. And if you are, I want to let you know, guys, I've been there. Okay, I've been there and it's not easy. But I can tell you that when you climb out of it, it's going to be one of your best memories. Like that time in life is actually going to be one of the best, most fun memories that you may have because you didn't have anything. You were grateful for what you had. Everything was new. Everything was a learning lesson. And you didn't have this thing to worship. You didn't have money to worship. You didn't have money to worry about managing or losing. And that's one thing I didn't think about at that time. I never thought that I would actually have more stress around money when I had more of it. And as I've talked with lots of, wealthy people and things like that, I'm not saying that it's something that everybody faces, but I believe everybody faces this, is as you start to earn a lot of money, more money than you actually need to live the life that you want to live your life vision, there's this weird thing that you start to be protective of this thing that you don't need. You start to be protective of this thing that you don't want to lose now. And so rather than chasing this thing that you don't have to gain it, you start to then have a scarcity mindset that you don't want to lose it. And what happens, guys, when you lose the thing, or when you have a scarcity mindset that you don't want to lose it, oftentimes that's the very thing that will happen because, like I've said before, mindset-wise, what you focus on is what you'll manifest, right? What you focus on is what you manifest. So if you focus on, I don't want to lose my money, then there's a great chance you're probably going to lose your money, okay? If you focus on instead, I want to be secure, or if you focus on instead, I want to go for happiness, or if you focus on instead abundance, you have a mindset of abundance, then you'll start to relieve that stress on your mind that money can place on it when you earn more than that 70, 80 grand a year. Okay, and so let me kind of go back to the original point of this. I want to give you guys a few quick and simple tips that I've learned over the years. Okay, so the original point of this was this: if you've got on your mind, man, I want to be rich because it's going to make it so I never have to worry about money again, I can tell you that won't be true. Okay, that won't be true. So just come to terms with that right now. Your money worries will just be different at that point. And so here's a way to protect against it, because I've kind of been through all of those cycles. A way to protect against it is this. And I got this quote actually from an amazing friend of mine, Tom Kroll. Tom, thanks for sharing this up, man. And this is something that I actually have lived for years now. And Tom reminded me of it when I read his post on Facebook today. So go follow Tom Kroll, Krol. Shout out to Mr. Tom Kroll over on Facebook. Good friend of mine. So guys, here's tip number one. Tip number one, when you start to earn some money and start to get some money and maybe even become rich, okay? Hopefully you do become rich, and then you use that for good. You use it for not socking away in your bank and not touching, but you use it for impact, okay? Use it to buy back your time, okay? Not to slave away. Tip number one is this. Pick your money goal and then stick with it. Okay, when you hit your money goal, start worrying about other things. So if you have a money goal for the year and you say, I want to make $200,000, and you hit the $200,000 mid-year, amazing, celebrate the crap out of that. Because there was a real reason that you picked that $200,000 number. There was a real reason. Okay, that reason was because you probably added some numbers up. You said, well, it's going to add a little bit of extra income here. It's going to take the weight off here. Then I can go finally get the new car instead of the 10-year-old car, or whatever it is. I can finally give more. I can finally do whatever I want to do, right? And $200,000 is an amazing amount of money to make every single year. It's an amazing amount of money. So once you hit the 200K, now take the pressure off of yourself mentally and say, awesome, now let me go worry about something else, like in a good way. Let me go focus on something else now. Maybe you're going to focus on health. Maybe you're going to focus on fitness. Maybe you're going to focus on your friends. Maybe you're going to focus on travel. Maybe you're going to focus on writing that book you've wanted to write. Maybe you're going to focus on something else. Now, here's where you can get into trouble a little bit. Right? You can't take your eye off the ball of the business that you had built to make the $200,000 in the first place, because you've got to create some systems. You've got to create some processes. And I'm not saying to hit the brakes and make no extra money after the $200,000. I'm saying you shift your focus at that point. Okay, and you know what? You may actually end up making $400,000 that year, but the back half of the year, the difference is now you're not worshiping, chasing the dollar. The dollar is coming as a result of the business and systems that you created, and it's going to help create more joy there for sure. But now you're able to leverage that money and buy that freedom back and create the impact that you want to make. Okay. And I've had so many people go down the wrong path with this. So many people that were rich and miserable that I know. So many people that they look at the amount of money that they have. And I've said this so many times in the podcast, that they realize, oh my gosh, when I hit that income goal, the clouds didn't part, the angels didn't sing. Okay, I thought my life would change when I hit this new revenue number. When I hit $100,000 a year, I thought my life would change. When I hit $500,000 a year, I'm like, man, I thought my life would change. Did it make some things easier? Yeah, it did. Did it make some things cooler? Yeah, it did, for sure. But my life fundamentally didn't change. I didn't become happier, okay? But I thought, shoot, maybe it's $1 million a year, because then if it's $1 million a year, then I'll be able to have all this money to hire people and not buy all my time back and give and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, if you can't be happy right now with the amount of money that you're making, especially if you're making anything over $60,000 to $70,000 a year, okay, if you can't be happy right now with the amount of money that you're making, adding any extra zeros to the bottom line of that will not make you happier either. It just won't. Okay? Can you buy happiness? Great question. I think you can buy amazingly happy moments. I think you can buy fun. I think you can buy back your time. Okay, you can buy back your time, which if you use that time in the right way could make you happier, for sure. So I'm not someone who doesn't believe that money can't buy happiness. I think the ultimate way that money can buy happiness, if you are smart with it, is buying back your time, which is freedom, the first part of our company mission here at Carrot. And then the second part is creating an impact, which is the second part of our mission here at Carrot. Okay, we exist to help people create businesses of freedom and impact. It's not a coincidence, guys and gals, that we help you guys make more money so that you can build businesses of freedom and impact, to buy back your time so you can help other people in a greater way. Because those are the things that you can drive forward with extra money, okay, to create happiness, to create long-term fulfillment, versus worshiping the next zero. So as I wrap this podcast here, I want you to think about that. Have you ever said, or are you currently saying, man, once I hit this income number, my money worries will go away. I'll finally be able to stop stressing about money. If so, it won't stop. Shoot, one thing I forgot to mention, actually. So I have a good friend who I've been in a mastermind with for about 5 years. His name is Jonathan. And it's in a mastermind with companies like ours, software company owners. Amazing, amazing guy. Just love the guy to death. Such a giver. So he sold his company for a very, very, very large amount. Okay, extremely large amount, just under $100 million, which is insane when you think about it, right? Insane. That's crazy. It's like multiple generational wealth money. And we got to talking about, why he sold, what motivated him. Does he have any regrets on it? He doesn't, by the way, which is awesome. He even still works in that business because he loves the business, but now the pressure is off a little bit for him. But when we were talking, we were starting to talk about, selling business. And he said, are you ever going to sell Carrot? And I said, well, it's always an option, but it's not something I have planned at all anytime in the near future. I love what we're doing. I love our mission. I don't believe we're anywhere near done. I think we need to make our product better, and I want to invest in that. I want to become a better leader. And building this business will force me to become the type of person who can be a better leader. And that's something I'm excited about for that growth path. But he said, the funny thing is, Trevor, it's like, as soon as I sold and had whatever after tax in the bank, right? Let's say $30 or $40 million, because he had a business partner as well after tax in the bank. He said, you trade one stressor for another. He said, it's kind of silly because now the thing I've got to think about is, what do I do to protect this $30 million, and where do I put it? How do I invest it? What do I do with it? Because he's not a guy, he said, I don't want to get a second house. He's like, I've already got a Ferrari or two, because he's a car guy. Like, he loves racing cars. So he had that before he sold the company. And he goes, I just don't really know what else I would do. He goes, I'd probably go buy some more businesses. I go, okay. So he said when he had $30 to $40 million in the bank, the stress about money did not go away. It just shifted. It shifted from, shoot, let me protect to make sure that I actually capitalize on the value of this business I've created. And it shifted from, shoot, let me make sure I'm making enough money to pay my bills. Let me make sure that, that we're providing income. Let me make sure that it's sufficient and long-term and sustainable. Let me make sure that if something happens to me, my family's taken care of. And then the second that all that was actually true, he still had stress attached to it, because now it's like, oh my gosh, how do I protect this thing? And that's one of the things I've found the most is when you're going from an attitude or a position of protecting the thing that you have, oftentimes you actually lose the thing that you have when you protect that thing and hold it too tight. When you hold on to money too tight, it slips away. So in summary, guys, do this. Do this right here. Pick a money amount. Pick a dollar amount for this quarter. For this next quarter, say, this is the amount of revenue I'm going to earn this quarter, and I will be insanely happy when I hit that. This is the amount of money that I'm going to aim for this next year, and when we hit it, I'm going to be insanely happy that we hit it. As soon as you hit it, celebrate the crap out of it, and then shift your focus to something else. Now, once again, I'm not saying to shut your business down, keep the business there, but I'm going to say maybe buy back more time now, because you don't need the extra money at that point. Buy back more of your time to give yourself some more joy and happiness and time to do the things you want to do. Maybe shift some of your focus towards giving back. Maybe shift some of your focus towards a hobby, towards getting healthy, towards whatever it is. And make money not the number 1, 2, or 3 goal on your list anymore. Just make it one of the things out there that you're monitoring and making sure is at a healthy measure. Then when the next year picks up, pick a new number, make the number matter. Ask yourself, why does this number actually matter to your vision of your life? Does it actually help you get more freedom? Does it actually help you make a greater impact in the world? Does it actually bring you more fulfillment, or is it just an ego thing measuring your money against somebody's money at a mastermind? And once you've come to a conclusion that that dollar amount that you picked is the right dollar amount and it serves you and your vision and those around you so you can make the impact you want to make, and it doesn't have anything to do with ego, so other people around you can see what you're earning. You can be in the big boys club, right? As soon as you've discovered that that's not it at all, then set your course for that year. When you hit that number, guys, pull back a little bit of your focus, put it somewhere else, and enjoy life. Life is too short. Finishing where I started this podcast, talking about my friend Adrian. We dug up a Facebook post of his. It was actually one of our Carrot customers, Chris Bello. So shout out to you, Chris. What's up, man? In the last episode where I talked about Adrian's passing, the lessons that I learned from him, and I want you guys to go listen to that episode. I've got more messages from people about that episode this past 2 days, 24 hours actually, than most podcasts I ever get, guys. So many cool messages. People just saying how it changed their perspective on life. Go listen to that, please. We'll hook it up in the show notes. It's the episode a week ago from the time we launched this. Chris Bello listened to it. He went and found the post I talked about from Adrian in December of 2020, where he went out there and had money, cash money, and he said, I'm just going to take this money and give it to people this season. I'm going to go give it to people to bring joy, to be a beacon of positivity and possibility, to make someone's day brighter. And Chris went out there and gave someone a big tip today. I think it was at lunch or dinner. And then another person saw it today and they said, hey, I just tipped my waitress $100 and let her know how much I appreciated her service during the pandemic. This other person said, hey, we're going to start tipping 100% as well. This other person said they're going to do the same thing. Guys, I want you to use that money for that type of good and be that beacon of positivity and possibility. Live and keep Adrian's legacy alive. He was one of the biggest givers that I've ever seen in this world. And if you guys can go to carrot.com/Adrian, carrot.com/Adrian, go find the GoFundMe page if it's still up as of the time you're listening to this, and contribute to his family. He didn't have much life insurance, 2 extremely small policies, and we're working with his family to make sure his businesses can continue without him, so they have some semblance of income moving forward. But we've raised over $107,000 in the past 5 days since just as of the time I'm recording this, for his family. That's going to go directly to them. I want to make that number 125. I want to make that number 150. So his family can really just focus on. His wife can focus on homeschooling his kids, on raising amazing kids, not having to try to homeschool, be a mother. Single mother, and trying to have a job as well. So guys, go to carrot.com/Adrian. He's loved on so many people in this community that it's crazy the support that's pouring out for him. And I love you guys if you guys have been a part of that as well. Whether you've contributed money or whether you've just contributed prayers, either way, thank you guys. Love you guys being a part of the Carrot community. Take money, put it in the back seat in your goals. Put it where it should be in your goals, not forefront all the time. Hit that number and then shift your focus to something else. All right, guys, have an amazing rest of the week. As always, go to Apple Podcasts and give us a rating and review. Ratings and reviews actually are what drive podcast listeners here. I didn't know that. I didn't used to know that. When you like, rate, and review and share up a podcast episode, it kind of changes the algorithm in Apple and it gets up the list and it gets more people to listen to it and see it. Right now we have about 1,000 to 1,200 people within 30 days of launching listen to one of these podcasts. I'd love to get it up to 5,000 so we can impact more and more people and change more and more lives. So if this has resonated with you at all, share this episode with someone. Just click the share thing on Spotify, click the share thing on Apple Podcasts, share it with your friend, let them know why it should be something they should listen to, or one of our other episodes, and then give a rating review on Apple Podcasts as well. You guys have an amazing rest of the week. We'll talk soon.